Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, and it is National Tattoo Day. So if you happen to have a tattoo, well, then enjoy your day. But if you happen to be getting one, I certainly hope it doesn't hurt. On today's show, we have a very exciting lineup today. We have the Great Park, and we've got Greg Ream here who's going to tell us all about all the exciting things that are going on at the Great Park. Then we also have the Duplicate Bridge Club. We have the Tea Party Sentinels who will be giving us a little idea of what's coming up in their next meeting. And then we also have Harvard Eye Association. We have Dr. Kim with us. Then in today's meeting, we have the third board regular meeting today, and that will be in the board meeting. That'll be from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. today. And the weather, well, we started out with a little bit of fog this morning, but it should be clearing and looking just beautiful. Again, today's high will be 84 and lows will be at 68, and then partly cloudy with some sun tomorrow, 85, 69. Then on Thursday, mostly sunny, 85, 69. Again, mostly sunny, 83, 68. And then on Saturday, 83, 68, partly cloudy. I feel like I keep telling you the same thing each week here. And then around town, it's looking really nice. In the North OC, it should be about 87. Beaches are looking great at 75, but you might find a little fog if you go down towards the morning. South OC 84, San Diego 76, Inland Orange County about 89, and the Foothills 87. Arrowhead's a nice 81, should be clear, and Palm Springs 107. So everything's looking really good in the weather today, so stay active and have a good week and a good day, and we'll be right back after this.
Hiring a realtor you trust is the first step in selling your home. Selecting an escrow company that can safeguard your money and personal information throughout the transaction is the next step. Escrow Options will guarantee the safety of your personal information and funds from the risks of wire fraud and cyber theft. Choose the escrow company that works for you. Escrow Options Group, protecting consumer assets in escrow since 2005.
This is how we burger, brew, and cue. Pick a town. Arrive hungry, real hungry. Start with a massive burger. Charred, juicy. Add bacon, a buttery bun, piled high. Serve it up, wash it down. Creamy, hoppy, fruity, malty. We're not done yet. Cue time. Deep fried, sauce soaked, pork ribs, meaty, tender. I'm full. Where to next?
All new Burgers, Brew, and Q. Tuesday at 9. Cooking Channel. Stay fired up.
Summer is here. Diane's Hallmark has everything you need to make summer cool. From clothing to jewelry to unique one-of-a-kind gifts, Diane's Hallmark is the place to go. Diane's also has a large religious section as well. Come in today to see it all. Diane's Hallmark is located in the Walmart Shopping Center next to Hobby Lobby.
Hi, I'm Sharon. I am so pleased to welcome you to JTV. We're a 24/7 home shopping network focused exclusively on jewelry and gemstones. And because we believe every woman deserves to be lifted up, we love to help her sparkle, keep her informed, and make her smile. Our viewer is passionate about jewelry and gemstones, and we share her passion. Because of that, she keeps coming back, making us one of the top retailers in the United States. We sell extraordinary products at extraordinary prices. Welcome to JTV.
Welcome back. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we have the Great Park here with us, and we have Craig Ream, who's going to tell us all about all the fascinating things that they've done over there and more things to come. Well, welcome. Thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you. I want to tell you about my weekend foray. The Orange County Soccer Club, professional team that plays at the Orange County Great Park, hosted a viewing party on Sunday for the World Cup.
Oh, wonderful.
And about 1,000 people showed up, sat in the soccer stadium, looked at the big screen and watched France beat Croatia. And I will tell you, there are more French fans in Orange County than Croatians, but it was still a great game, and it was a great event,
yeah.
and it was a free event.
What a nice way to do that, right there in the heart of the city.
It is, and the great park being 1,300 acres, owned by the city, the fastest growing parkland development in the country. Those kinds of things are happening on a daily basis, and it's really becoming some wonderful synergy.
That's great. I mean, Irvine really is growing leaps and bounds, as you mentioned, not only with residential areas, but then with the great park, and then a variety of other exciting entertainment and things that are going on. So let's talk about, kind of give me an overview of the great park itself. Like, just really briefly, how did it get started, and what are some of the things that you have for the vision of it? Well,
I think going back in history, early 2000s, and Laguna Woods voters being very much against an international airport, it was up for a vote. An international airport or a great park, and the voters went out, and it's developing into a great park, 1,300 acres. While the great park is and is going to continue being all things for all people, I mean, the viewing party was across the scale. I know that people that saw Pele play in real life were there, as well as the young kids who know him from the books. But it's shown tremendous growth in the past year, in particular because there's a 194-acre sports complex within the great park that is expanding. And here are some of the numbers. Last August, a 53-acre phase 1 of the great park opened. That's a soccer stadium with 6 other soccer lacrosse fields next to it, 25 tennis courts, 5 sand volleyball courts, and a children's playground. And now we're in the midst of phase 2, which is open or will open by the end of this year. That's another 130 acres. And that includes a mile-long great park trails, which runs through the Bosque and the Upper B from Irvine Boulevard to the soccer stadium, a second children's play area, 6 artificial turf fields, 4 basketball courts, an 18-acre flex field that can be divided up for all sorts of reasons, concerts, playing fields. Right.
You know, we're looking at the map right now. Can you give me just kind of an overview here? Because what does Upper B mean?
So Upper B and Bosque are 2 designations of permanent open space, which is where the trails, the Great Park trails are now being finalized. Irvine Boulevard to the sports park, which is the soccer stadium on the map there, that runs under streets and all that. It's a clear run, so you can run, walk, bike without being interrupted with traffic. So that's the trails thing. You can see agriculture and golf, future amenities of the great park, the sports park, which I'm talking about right now, phase 1, which is in place, phase 2, which is opening very, very quickly. The wildlife corridor is another part of the great park that will allow wildlife to go from the Cleveland National Forest through uninterrupted out to the coast. And the future cultural terrace, which I can talk to about in just a moment. The western sector has been open for a very long time. Those are playing fields. It includes 2 art galleries in there, an exhibition hangar, historic hangar 244 are there in the western sector. And I can talk about the community ice facility in just a moment as well.
I know that they had that up, so I wanted to make sure that we kind of addressed it. So it really is just an overview of what is potential.
Well, what is?
What is?
What is? What is?
What is becoming?
So let me just finish up real quickly
go right ahead.
on the phase 2. What is open or will be open by the end of this year? Upcoming 7 baseball fields that include a 1,000-seat baseball stadium, 5 softball fields that include a 500-seat stadium, and then elsewhere, because you have the sports park and you can see it here, and very close to this will be the community ice facility. So it's separate from the sports complex, but still within the great park. I tell you, the great park ice is a 270,000 square foot building, 4 sheets of ice being built by the Anaheim Ducks affiliate, $100 million for ice skating, hockey, and figure skating. It will be iconic from the day it opens, and it opens by the end of this year. And it will be serving those in the public, serving tournaments, and occasionally serving the Anaheim Ducks who may come down for good marketing reasons and have a nice practice. 4 sheets of ice, the largest such facility in the state, and one of the very largest in in the country. And so all of this complements what's already in place at the Great Park. As I shared with you, the western sector, we have the Visitors Center, we have the Hangar 244 for meeting and exhibit space. It's also becoming, and has become really, a wonderful walking area. And I was walking it the other day after the viewing party for the World Cup, and it is an enormous stretch of land in which to walk, run, bike, whatever you want to do. And it includes our expanded timeline that runs from one end of the Great Park to the other. And it includes the Kaiser Thrive Path, which is a mile-long health and fitness path that features information by our sponsor, Kaiser Permanente.
Okay.
So it is a place to go to play. It is a place to go to reflect, let's say in an art gallery. It is a place to picnic under the shade of trees and picnic areas. Because what we're doing here is we're in the midst of a 688-acre public-private partnership with 5 Point, the developer, which owns the private land surrounding the Great Park. And in return for entitlement of new housing villages, 5 Point is spending up to $250 million for what you're seeing here, and that's going to include a golf course, a wildlife corridor, and non-sports areas such as the urban agriculture.
Okay. Okay.
And when that's all done, the sports areas will be about 472 acres in all, which will be the 4th largest sports complex in the country.
Wow.
And that sports allows for vitality, synergy, and families.
Exactly.
I have spent so much time on practice fields, either as a coach or as a participant with my own children, and now look forward to do that at some point when I'm a grandfather. Not happening yet. And it, as you can see here, this is the Great Park Trails that will open this year. That runs from Irvine Boulevard to the soccer stadium. And they're the tennis courts now in play. You guys have so many tennis courts. We have 25, and they're the soccer fields attached to the soccer stadium, and we're swinging around, and there are the baseball fields and the baseball stadium and the softball stadium coming into play.
Now, can residents of Irvine use that facility free, or is it part of an association, or how does that work?
The playing fields are typically rented out by the city to anyone. I mean, we have high school teams, the professional Orange County Soccer Club team I mentioned that uses the soccer stadium as its home field. Lacrosse, tennis lessons, tennis teams, sand volleyball teams, and we rent those out. But nominal fees, wonderful fields. My son, who played lacrosse everywhere in the country, said that the fields of the Great Park were the best he ever played on. Nice. And I know I'm doing a pitch, but it's also true.
And then for our residents, though, they can go over there and they can enjoy the playground and the trails and all sorts of things there.
They can, and there are so many areas in which to, grassy areas in which to just watch the children play, or go yourself with a loved one and picnic. Go inside the art galleries and see the latest art gallery show. Go to our Hangar 244 and see our historic planes that represent the planes that flew in and out of the base when it was El Toro. So there's a lot of history. A lot of veterans go there because many of them served there. It was one of the busiest bases from '43 in World War II through 1999. So a lot of wars and a lot of memories there.
Right. And then also, of course, we always see the great big orange balloon from afar. Tell me a little bit about how that works and how someone might be able to go on that.
Well, you just walk into the Visitors Center, buy a ticket, and walk out and go straight up. It's a wonderful view. Goes, I think, 400 feet up, and so you get a view not only of the Great Park but really of the whole surrounding area. And it reminds us why people move to Orange County. It is particularly on a clear day, it is a beautiful view from up there, and the balloon goes up most days, and tickets are nominal, and the experience is wonderful because there aren't a lot of balloons that you can go up on. And right next to that is a carousel, and so you see families going up on the balloon and then going over the carousel and then going to the grassy knoll next to the Visitor Center for a picnic. It really creates an entire day for for the full spectrum of families and friends and loved ones.
Well, there certainly is so much to do, and like you said, there's so much land, there's so many different things to do, so you really could have a full day.
There is, and still to come, still to be planned and determined by the Irvine City Council is the cultural terrace, which is more than 200 acres undeveloped right now, but the Irvine City Council is contemplating future uses that include priority uses of a permanent amphitheater, a lake, museums, and a library. So you think of the cultural aspect that will be coming here in the next several years to the Orange County Great Park, and it really will be the place to be.
I think a lake would be great because, you know, you've got Lake Irvine,
Yeah.
but maybe something that the kids, it might be a little easier for them being in a centralized location rather than having to go out to the Irvine Lake.
I will pass on your interests.
Well, I don't know. I just felt like there's not enough lakes
I
around
love
here to go
lakes.
fishing.
You and me, we're in the same.
We go on
we're
the
in
golf
same
course, but that just
area,
doesn't, you know, not the same because you're always worried about somebody kicking you off.
Right.
So, well, this is excellent. Good information. Now, if someone did want to know more about it or wanted to, you know, look at some of the pictures that we have here,
Yes.
where should they go? Website?
Our website, cityofirvine.org, and we have everything Great Park on that website.
Okay, great. Yeah, and we also could do, I think you could do a / Orange County Great Park, which also might, or you could call.
You can do that as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and the 724-6247 would get them additional information if they couldn't find what they
It
needed.
would, yeah. We have really good people answering phones.
Yeah, well, that's good.
We
I
really
think
do.
even you answered the phone once too.
That's right.
All right, well, thank you so much. It was very nice to meet you, and thank you
Great
for all the
meeting
great
you.
information.
Well, thank you.
All right.
For having me.
All right. Excellent information. So if you want to have a lovely day out, just go to the Great Park. It's probably 10 minutes away from here, so don't forget to check it out. We'll be right back after this.
Through my window, I see the first sunlight, and I feel the warm ocean breeze. I see the waves that lulled me all night. That's what my window brings me.
Look at this.
That view is $1 million.
It's amazing we can look at these kinds of places within our budget.
You don't have a bad view from here anywhere you look.
It's all about the view. Sunday night is beach night. Sunday night at 8, only on HGTV.
Hey Laguna Woods, it's Ken.
And Lisa.
Did you miss an episode of This Day? Not to worry, head over to youtube.com and search Village Television.
Here you can find each episode of This Day and other community programs such as Good Day OC, Discovering Laguna Woods, and much more.
Just click the red subscribe button, then click the bell to be emailed every time we upload a video.
Don't miss out.
And subscribe today.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cartmart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Car here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cartmart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
We all know there's no place like home. You want to stay in your own home, but day-to-day tasks are getting more difficult to manage. Acticare is the solution. We are the trusted care partner in your community with 5-star reviews. You've taken care of others all your life. Now is the time to let us help you. In-home care is a safe and effective way to help you remain living independently in the comfort of your own home.
Acticare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free.
At BreastLink, we offer our patients a variety of breast health services and breast cancer treatments. Our dedicated breast specialists assess each situation to determine the best course of action for each patient and personalize a treatment plan specific to you. The compassion and knowledge of the BreastLink team has helped us successfully treat thousands of patients. Allow us to deliver the care you deserve with the quality that you expect from a leader in breast health. Whether you need us now or later, we're always here. Visit us at breastlink.com.
Welcome back. Today on the show, we have Richard Palmer, who is here on behalf of the Tea Party Sentinels, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the next meeting and a very special guest speaker.
Oh, I'm so excited. Star Parker is very unique, and we've been trying to get her, and she spends the summers here in Southern California, but she's writing a book right now, so it was hard to even consider getting her to speak.
Right.
But she took the time out, which I'm very appreciative of, and I'm sure the club is very pleased with her final decision to come.
Right.
Because she's so great. Actually, she spent the first 7 years in poverty, and she finally decided to get out of this mess. She went to college, and she started this program, and ever since then she's on the steep rise. She's really great, and she's, like I say, she's writing her 6th book.
Sixth book, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. She's so I can't tell you how delightful she is. It's just, and people are thrilled to see her come. Because she's so great. But anyway, getting back to current events, like I said, she didn't have much of a say. I mean, they listened to her, but you know, it just went one ear and out the other. That's Washington, D.C. But she finally got a president who is very sympathetic to what she's trying to accomplish. In fact, Trump just started a new program, an anti-poverty program, and I'm sure it was right out of Star Parker's book. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but the swamp in Washington, they just, you know, they're bureaucrats that run everything, and so it's hard for people to come in and really say something constructive because the bureaucrats have a theme they want to carry through, and that's it. I mean, nobody else can have any input. So I was delighted that Star has finally got somebody that can listen to her because she has an awful lot to say.
Right.
I mean, she knows what poverty is because she lived it so long.
Right.
And she finally fed up. She went to college, graduated and started this program. So ever since then, she's been speaking to, I think, 100 different colleges. Like I said, she wrote books, and so she's a real strong voice in eliminating poverty.
Right. Now, you said that her, so the program that she started was the Center for Urban Renewal and Education.
Right.
So what are they responsible for?
Well, they're just trying to come up, well, she is, because she came out of poverty and became very powerful, she's trying to encourage black women to rise out of this poverty. You know, this is a quagmire that they get stuck in, and the government's been feeding them. That's why so many women, black women, are not getting married, you know. So she's trying to get them to be self-sufficient, and it's going to take a lot of work because they've been living on, you know, every generation just sucks off the other one, the prior generation. So it's hard to offset all these things because people want free things. And, you know, that's not too healthy for this country.
Right, right. So when she comes to the meeting then, she'll obviously be talking about her history, and she'll talk about the books that she's written, and then maybe whatever she's going to be working on going forward, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, she has an awful lot to offer, and I'll tell you, I was sitting on pins and needles waiting for her to come.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Anyway, she's coming on July 23rd.
Okay.
At Clubhouse 7. The meeting starts at 7 o'clock with doors open at 6:30.
Okay.
So we're expecting a good-sized crowd.
All right.
And
all right. Perfect. And you said it was Clubhouse 7, and that's gate 16, and you said doors open at 6:30, and you will be having tea, coffee, and some treats as well.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, all right, perfect. And then what else will you guys be talking about? Will it just be her talking, or do you have some other things you're going to be addressing?
Well, I would never let anybody supersede her or anything else.
Okay.
But we may, I don't know, the people, the different people running for office, so who knows who's going to show up.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But nothing's been prearranged. She is the sole speaker.
Okay. And will there be a question and answering?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
we'll always have that.
Okay.
And so, you know, I'm just very excited about this.
Well, you can't tell, because you seem very excited to have her. But one thing I thought was really interesting is that, you know, she received an award. And tell me a little bit about her award that she got, which is the Ronald Reagan Award.
Oh, that was way back.
Oh, well, it said that she was the 2016, so it's a couple years ago, but that's really exciting for her to have received that.
Well, I'm surprised it took so long.
Yeah.
Because she is, I mean, she's so powerful.
Right.
I mean, she just has the audience to have their total attention,
right.
because she has a lot to say.
Okay.
So, but her, to be real honest, I have not read any of her books.
Okay.
But because there's so many political issues we're facing today.
Sure.
So, but I'm anxious to at least read one of them.
Yeah, well, maybe she'll bring her latest book for everybody. That will be great.
Well, I don't know. Speakers usually bring their books, but
right.
But since she's down here for the summer, she doesn't bring, I don't think she brings any books.
Okay.
But I'm hoping she does, because people really listen.
Absolutely.
I know our last speaker, Trevor Loudon, was a very dynamic person, and he brought all his books and tapes and everything else.
Okay, all right.
In fact, some people got so upset that they want to order. This lady called me up, she said, "Where can I get 10 more tapes?
Wow.
I want to give to my friends."
Okay.
So he had a very powerful message.
Well, good. Well, maybe she'll have the same effect on everybody.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she will.
All right, well, good. Well, again, that meeting is going to be on July 23rd at Clubhouse 7, and the doors open at 6:30.
That's
all
right.
All right, and if they want any information, they can go to teapartysentinels.com, and all the information will be there?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
They can call me.
Oh, okay, and your phone number is 949-683-5747, right?
Right.
All right, perfect. Well, thanks for being on.
Well, thank you.
And good luck to your meeting. I'm sure it'll be fun.
Oh. I can hardly wait.
Okay. Well, we'll be right back after this, and if you wanted any additional information on the July 23rd meeting so you too can be just as excited as Richard, make sure you go to the teapartysentinels.com. We'll be right back.
If you asked me what I wanted to be when I was a child, I would have told you a princess or an astronaut, maybe even a chef. But things change. I may not have become a princess, but I found someone who treated me like one. I may not have become an astronaut, but I still got to see the world. I may not have become a chef, but you would never leave my house hungry. The Emeritus Institute has kept my love of learning alive. Every day is a new adventure, and the Emeritus classes have made it possible to keep living out my dreams. Sign up today and begin your life's next adventure.
Before the next earthquake, take 30 seconds to refresh your memory about these important disaster preparedness tips. Make a family emergency plan. Decide how you'll get in touch with each other, where you'll go, and what you'll do in an emergency. Build a disaster supply kit with enough water, food, and emergency supplies to last at least 3 days. It's important to have disaster supply kits for work, cars, and pets too. Find and fix items in your home that might hurt someone by moving, breaking, or falling during an earthquake. Know how to react safely when the ground shakes. If you're inside, stay there. Remember to drop, cover, and hold on. Drop down onto your hands and knees and cover your head and neck with your arms to protect yourself from falling objects. If you can move safely, crawl under a sturdy desk or table and hold on to one of the legs until the shaking stops. After an earthquake, help people who are hurt or trapped. Call 911 for emergencies only. Check your home for damage, including gas or water leaks, damaged wiring, or downed power lines. Protect your family and your home by making a plan, building a kit, and practicing disaster drills at least twice a year. Be sure to visit readyoc.org for more information on emergency preparedness and alertoc.com to sign up for emergency alerts and notifications. We want you to be prepared for a disaster just as much as you do.
It takes a team effort to provide compassionate care. At Health Plus Medical Supply and El Toro Pharmacy, your personal attention is our top priority. We have everything you need, including stair lifts, rollators, knee walkers, wheelchairs, power wheelchairs, scooters, and car lifts. And we provide all maintenance and installation. Health Plus is located inside El Toro Pharmacy, where we provide the same compassion for your pharmacy and drugstore needs. Located in Moulton Plaza.
Different is powerful, yet calming. Different is a friendly smile. Different is accepting, not judging.
Different is the unexplained, left to the imagination.
A day without plans, to walk, to explore, a coastal drive with no destination. Different is anything but predictable. Different can be good. At South County Lexus, you'll find different is amazing.
Welcome back. Today with us, we have Steve Johnson and Catherine Bell with the Duplicate Bridge Club, and they're going to tell us a little bit about some of the exciting educational things that are coming up. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're the newbie, but you've been here about a year and a half, and then you are kind of like our guru, if you will, with 11 years with the Duplicate Bridge Club. So I know we've had the Bridge Club on a couple different times, but tell me a little bit about some of the things that are coming up for education purposes, because everybody seems to have a lot of questions.
Well, good. Well, you know, I think what happens is that people move in, and some people have played lots of cards, but they've never played bridge. And then you have people like I had played a little bit in college. And so you have this situation where there are people that want to start from scratch. So we have like the bridge in a day, and we just did that in January. And so somebody that's never had any bridge at all can play. Okay. And then there are people like me that came in and hadn't played in 40 years, and I took some classes, and you get excited, and you say, okay, what can I learn? And part of the fun is learning. And then as you move up, you say, there people are beating me, or you're competitive and you want to get better.
Or as my dad says, I'm getting crummy cards.
Getting crummy cards.
Doesn't matter in duplicate.
That's the
okay,
that is the difference between duplicate and what is called rubber bridge, is that everybody plays the same cards. You can't say, oh, I got crummy cards, because everybody else playing your same direction got the same cards. So it's how do you do with those cards that they did. Yes. So it's that. There's nothing wrong with rubber bridge. I play on Thursday with a group of friends. It's fun. But the difference is it takes away from that excuse. And so you decide hey, I'd like to get better at this. And I had no intention of getting involved in tournaments and things like that. And then it just kind of happened over time. So what we want to do is make a chance for people that have never played, people that are returning to bridge, people that are newbies that want to get better, and then
sorry, keep breaking you with that.
There are people that have played for 60 years, and there's always something to learn. And so it's fun learning.
Do you think people choose? Okay, so the one bridge versus the duplicate bridge. Do you think people choose well, I call it regular bridge, but what did you call it? Rubber
bridge. So
do you think people choose that because it's a little easier? Because you don't have to learn something new?
Yeah, the problem with that is it's the same game. It just scored differently.
I see.
And you win most of the time because you have better cards. Where in duplicate, I find that there's a lot of former athletes that like to go to duplicate bridge because it's competitive. But there's people that were in businesses that were competitive, and so they like the competitive act, but it's still social.
Right, right. But there's a skill set involved too, right?
Yes, and that's where our classes come in.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the classes.
So right now we have a week 2's class. That's a convention that many people use, but there's more to it than just the initial bids. And so she's teaching a 4-series class right now. And then we have and she's from our own club and a good teacher.
And what is her name again?
Joan Anderson.
Joan Anderson, okay.
And then as soon as she's finished with that, in September we have somebody from Long Beach who teaches and directs at the Long Beach Club. And he comes highly recommended. His name is John D. Jones.
Okay.
And he's going to teach a class on bidding over preempt bids. So that should be.
He was a former national champion,
yeah.
so there are people like that. So
okay.
Yeah, and he'll be new teaching in our club, but people say he's a good teacher, so we're looking forward to carrying that preempt bid then into another level.
Wait, before you go on, tell me about the Joan Anderson.
Yes.
So she has a 4-part series, right?
Yes.
So tell me, just kind of give me briefly of each part. Like, so what would be the first part that she will talk about?
Well, the first part she just talked about the week 2's. I was there the other day, and should you bid week 2's? Should I go into that? It's usually you need a number of points to open your hand, open the bidding.
Okay.
But a week 2 bid allows you to open it with fewer points, but a long suit, a 6-card suit.
Okay.
And so almost everybody plays that way now.
Mm-hmm.
And but there are certain hands she showed us that you should open week 2's. Others, even though you have a 6-card suit, you don't want to open.
Okay.
Or if you're sitting in the first place, the initial bidder, it makes a difference.
Okay, so a little bit of strategy still involved with that. Even though it's a small thing, you still have to really think about it.
And then our next lesson, we'll talk some about the partner's bid after if I open 2 diamonds, what's my partner going to do, depending on what her hand looks like.
I see. And nobody can see each other's hands, right?
No, but the bidding will hopefully give
you
each
an
other
idea.
so that each partner knows what.
All right.
In fact, that's really the key, what you just said, is that it's almost like communication or English class, and the fact you're trying to describe your hand to somebody else, but you can't talk.
And you can't wink.
You can't wink.
There
are all kinds of rules against that.
Oh, no.
So you got to describe by just simply putting a card down on the table, and you're saying, this is what, but how do you
talk at all?
Right.
So how do you describe something, and you can't use your hands, you can't use body language, you can't use, so that's where the fun of the game is you do that kind of thing.
Huh. That sounds hard.
It's not as hard as
Oh, no. What you get to really depend, it's a box full of every bid you could possibly make.
Okay.
And so you just pull out the card and you lay it on the table. And if you are bidding, if your partner changes the bid and you bid again and so forth, it's all laid out in cards on the table.
Okay.
So actually you don't have to remember what they bid.
Oh, okay.
It's right there until the bidding is over.
Okay.
And then you put them all back in the box and play the hand.
Okay. So
in June we had a thing on The Longest Day, which was for Alzheimer's. And one of the things is, it's not easy. You're never going to master everything. But at the same time, it's fun because every hand is a little bit different. So the difficulty that you mentioned is part of the fun. Is the fact is it's not rote. It is you got to use judgment.
Well, and you'll learn from those things too, right? So then the next time you'll play, you'll go, oh yeah, I had that experience last time, and so you can learn from that. What was the third? What's the third meeting going to be about?
Let's see. I don't remember.
Well, you say the first.
There were 4. Yes.
Right.
And the last meeting I know is just going to be. I think the third meeting will just be going onward with the concepts.
Okay.
And then the last meeting will just be playing hands.
Okay.
She will have hands pre-dealt that will illustrate what she's been trying to teach us.
Okay,
and
perfect.
so we'll have practice playing, and
Okay.
that's a big part of the teaching. We always want our teachers to give a little lecture and talk about the hands, and then have a practice so that we get
Perfect.
that part of it.
Well, that sounds like a good series. I
And
think
Steve
people
is
should do that.
actually going to be talking about what they call the new bridge, 2/1. You want to say a couple of sentences about 2/1?
In the sense that in the old days you open with 13 points, okay. What if your partner has 13 points? Well, you know that you want to play it in games. So there's a way you bid to get to so if I open a heart and Catherine bid 2 clubs, she's telling me that she's got 13 points too, and so we're going to go on.
Okay.
And so there's a whole series of bids, but part of what Catherine said is that with Joan's class, you know, if you teach somebody once and then they don't use it, you forget it. So what Joan's going to do is take a smaller topic and allow people to actually get really good at it.
Good.
Rather than, here's a new widget, let's try it, and it comes up and you try it once or twice and you haven't mastered it. So
okay.
When it actually comes up in a game, it may be very seldom. You know, you don't. It's not something you do every hand.
But at least they'll be aware of it. Okay. So do you have some other programs that are coming up?
Yes, we do. We have our local Grand Life Master, Marjorie Michelin, and she did a course called Boot Camp, and she did that in late June.
Okay.
And she wants to do a conventions class, just on various conventions.
Okay.
We also have John Mohan, who is not as nationally known here, but plays at the national level, and he's interested in doing some lessons, some classes at our club, and we're certainly interested in having him. So we're working with him to whenever it works out with our with both. He plays in all the national tournaments and so forth, so it's hard to fit it in.
Okay.
And we have a list. We have quite a list of suggested topics and instructors that we've had or want to have.
Okay.
People like to come and teach at Laguna because it's a very large club.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
At one
well
time,
known.
it was the largest in the United States.
Wow.
Other clubs combined. So
There's some other clubs that they had multiple clubs and they combined. They're a little bit bigger, but you can play bridge Monday through Saturday at 12:30. You can play 3 nights a week. You can play on several Sundays.
Good night.
You can play several mornings for people that are just beginning. So there's an opportunity to play. And then there are other people that use Clutch House 7 for what I called rubber bridge, party bridge. They call it progressive bridge. So there's a lot of bridge being played out there, and there's lots of opportunities.
Right. Okay. So one thing that you were kind of touching on is suggestions. So if the listeners or watchers here, what kind of suggestions are you looking for?
I would like to know what the people who are playing bridge at our club all the time want to learn.
Okay.
Because we can tailor a class for. I've had a request especially for opening bids.
Okay.
And so that's something we'll be trying to get a teacher to come in and do opening bids later this year.
But it'd be nice. You mentioned that it sounds like it's really complicated. You know, it's like, what could we do to encourage people to try it, to see that they really would like it? You know, would they like a 1-day only class? Would they like a 6-week class? You know, what would they like to just get started?
Exactly.
Because it's always important.
And John Jones was recommended by one of our directors at our club. You know, said, really, you ought to get this man in. He's a terrific teacher. So we get teachers that way too.
Okay.
So we get suggestions from all directions, hopefully.
Okay.
We need those. We want people to tell us what they want.
Well, sure. I mean, you have a big, excuse me, you have a big club, you might as well, right? I mean, you've got a lot of people who I'm sure have lots of opinions and would like to know certain things. So, okay, so if they would like to make suggestions or just learn about when the meetings are, what the information is, they can go to lagunabridge.com, right? Or there's a phone number.
Should I say it?
Sure.
949-268-2420.
Okay.
Now, this is an answering machine. So, but they can leave a message. They can say, this is for the education committee, which then it would come to me.
Okay.
And
We'll get back to them. Yes, we'll call them back.
Or they can do, or they can go to lagunabridge.com and they can find that
and
information
it would
there
get,
too.
I think there's a /edu maybe if they want education.
Okay.
I know I've gotten calls and emails.
Okay, well, perfect. Well, we are out of time, so thank you so much both for being here, and great programs, and keep playing bridge and keeping those minds sharp, right?
Thanks.
Okay,
it's great fun.
All right, thank you. And
thank you for having us.
We are going to go to the movies now, and we're going to have you guys just hang here with us, and we'll be right back.
I'm Dr. Leif Loberg, and I want to welcome you to our brand new facility here in Laguna Woods. We've been serving the community since 2006, and we're super excited to bring you an awesome team of doctors, Dr. Jackson, Dr. Asaturians, Dr. Vian, myself, here to serve you in our brand new state-of-the-art facility. Call us in the morning and we'll get you in the same day, guaranteed.
Well, with me once again is Dr. Brian Kim from Harvard Eye Associates, and if you've been watching us over time, you probably know him well. He is kind of a, well, I want to say, you know, we're talking about low vision aids, but you do so many different things for Harvard Eyes, all the doctors do. And how long have you been with him? I want to say since he was a little kid, because of course his dad is one of the doctors, one of the founders, right?
Pretty close, yeah, it's pretty close. It feels like a part of my family, yeah, for sure.
Well, Harvard Eye is fantastic, and it's great to have you here today.
Oh, thank you.
And we're talking about something, low vision aids that can really help people for macular degeneration and other things as well. And I want to say well, obviously they're non-invasive, but we're not talking about surgery. We're not talking about something like this. We're talking about either wearable devices or screens or something like that, right?
Right, exactly, yeah. The low vision device market right now is fairly limited in what we do. And you know, for the past few years, we've come on the show, and yes, we've discussed macular degeneration several times, and I know you and your viewers are all very aware that it's a very difficult problem to treat.
Yeah.
And for things like dry macular degeneration, boy, it's one of those things that you just, there's no real good treatment. You know, and humans are the only species on the planet that get dry macular degeneration.
Yeah, explain the difference between wet and dry. Though we don't have a slide for that, you've talked about it in the past.
Sure, yeah, dry macular degeneration, I explain it as kind of like tires in a car. And the longer we go in life, the tires just sort of wear down.
Right.
And unfortunately, because we are the only species on the planet to get dry macular degeneration, we are not able to experiment very readily and find new technologies or new medications to slow that or help that. Now, wet macular degeneration, a few people will convert from the dry kind to the wet kind, meaning that's sort of like running out of gas, meaning that will stop your car sooner and faster, stop your vision sooner and faster. That we do have treatments for to slow that process down.
Okay.
But we're still at a lack of, overall, there is still a decline, slow progressive decline over the years, which we just cannot seem to fix.
Between the two, wet and dry, which is more evasive?
Well, right now, wet macular degeneration is more invasive as far as as far as the severity of it. Number one, but number two, the treatments are typically invasive treatments.
Okay.
And over the rest of your life, typically. So it's not something that we'd like to do, but if it keeps our vision around, that's what we've got.
Yeah.
So I want to I thought, you know, this is one of my passions actually, is to try and help solve this problem of low vision. Central vision loss or acquired central vision loss, primarily macular degeneration, but this can occur in things like macular holes or macular puckers or anything that involves the macula, really.
Okay.
But right now I'm studying in particular macular degeneration. And so I've been working with a team of people and to try and develop a solution for this. Typically what happens is when you develop a certain level of low vision, we have you see a low vision optometrist or a occupational therapist or somebody who can help you to navigate the world and try and figure things out, find ways to make your life a little bit easier.
Right, right.
But we don't have any ways to really fix the problem. You know, we see stem cells coming up, but we're still a long ways off from that. And me as a physician, I really just hate to tell my patients there's nothing that can be done. I actually really, it's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
And I like to help people as much as we can. And to be perfectly honest, what we're seeing is we can help. There is always something that can be done, even in patients with end-stage macular degeneration.
Okay.
It's just a matter of having to think outside the box.
Okay.
So right now, when we talk, and we have several low vision devices.
Yeah, on the next slide, we'll show some that I think people are probably in one way or another familiar with. Not that that they may have to use these at this point, but they've seen them.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, either they know somebody with it, or it just intuitively it makes sense. But when you lose the fine resolution of the center visual acuity, you need things like magnifiers or bright lights for reading. For distance, you need things like telescopes or bioptic telescopes or something that you have to see, you know, magnifies things far away. If you want to try to read something large print, like a magazine or a newspaper, you need something like a closed circuit TV or something that you can play something on a very large display. But the problem with all of this, as you're figuring out right now, and you can see intuitively, is that you need one device for whatever task you're doing. Meaning, if you wanted to go to the ball game and you wanted to read the program and watch the players on the field, you'd have a real hard time doing that without bringing a whole, you know, very large luggage with you.
Yeah.
So a team and I have been working for the past couple of years now, and we've worked on tirelessly to try and come up with a software solution, and we've paired up with a hardware group to bring augmented reality, a wearable device. Now, some people, I don't know if everybody's familiar with augmented reality, but what it is it places a screen in the middle of your vision, such that you're able to fuse the rest of your vision with an augmented or an altered center vision.
Right.
And what we do with that vision is we change it. So the middle of your vision is not functioning. And what we do is we take that central information and we optimize your peripheral vision. So we can even push it into the peripheral vision or enlarge things selectively. Where our technology has the advantage of is that when you use a magnifying glass, and anybody who's used a magnifying glass on paper knows that if you're trying to read a sentence or something, you lose context.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Even when you showed those devices of the magnifiers, when people read, you're reading a book or you're reading maybe you're reading on a tablet or whatever, you brought up a very good point. People's eyes kind of scan ahead just a little bit as your brain is processing.
Right.
And in a sense, even though we don't do it purposely, we all kind of have a little speed reading sometimes, because you're getting, you know, it's like when we read a word, a lot of times we aren't reading the letters, we're seeing the shapes of those letters, and our brain instantly knows, well, that's the word.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And right now what the magnifier does is it forces you to read one letter at a time.
Yeah.
And then there's the additional problem of, well, when you hit the end of the line, how do you know which line you were on? Because everything is so magnified, you lose that spatial awareness. So what we've done is selectively magnified the center of our vision. And been able to, and keeping the peripheral vision in place such that you know where you need to go next. So it's a very exciting technology, and we've started demoing it, and I know I'm hoping several of your viewers right now are watching because they've been a part of the demo process and have had good success with it so far. So
how does this work? I mean, is it a pair of glasses or what's going on here?
it is. It's essentially a pair of digital glasses.
Wow.
They're the small screen inside, and
like Google Glass in a way.
Something similar, a little bit larger form than that. But yes, it basically takes the world around us and alters that, and it. Basically, it feeds the information to us in a different way, but it gives us all the information. Just
but
like
it's still going through your eyes. This
Absolutely.
isn't any kind of an implant or anything
No,
like
no,
that.
this is non-surgical. This is a very low risk. If you don't like it, you take it off.
Yeah.
So if we get uncomfortable, you take it off, and you can reset and rest. So
that's remarkable.
So that's the advantage of this over, of course, a clinical trial of surgeries or something that's high risk or something that you don't know what the outcome could be.
So right now, they're not trials so much as you put on their evaluations. You want to see, how do we tweak the software? How do we tweak the hardware? And how do, basically.
That's exactly
it's in
right.
beta mode.
That's exactly right. We're doing our testing right now, and we've gotten a couple people who've never been able to read their prescription bottles to be able to read those.
Wow, that's impressive.
And so very important things, and increase the functionality of people's lives. So as we develop this device, we're going forward, and we're doing our clinical trials currently and starting that. So. And so we're, if any of your viewers are interested in that or know anybody who would be interested in that, that's
amazing.
Something we're looking forward to doing.
Now, once you go through all this process, what do you see how to get this out? Will it be by prescription, do you think? Or I should say, kind of prescription. Nobody's going to be able to just go to a place and buy it.
Sure, that's right. This is
at least at this point. I'm sure 10 years from now they probably will.
Maybe, yeah. But and that would be great. The more widely available, the better. This is something that's this is not a harmful thing. It's similar to like a hearing aid. It's a vision therapy device.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
But yeah, this would be through the channels through your optometrist or your ophthalmologist or your retina specialist or somebody who's very in tune with how impaired you are with the functionality that you're having difficulties with. So, but yeah, we are currently in testing and clinical trials now, and we should be in market available to everybody hopefully by the Q4 of this year. So end of the year.
Impressive.
So, but yeah, a big project of mine, and just a passion, and just the results so far are just really quite
well,
good.
it shows where how far we're going, and we were talking beforehand that before we came on, how if you remember the show Star Trek Next Generation, you had the Geordi character, LeVar Burton, who was in that, and he had those visors with the implants. Well, that's not out of the realm of possibility anymore, 10, 20 years from now. And in a sense, a lot of times they find even better solutions, the way to do something, and it looks like you're on that path right now.
That's where we'd like to be. Yes, we're certainly developing that, and every year it brings new technology and new solutions, and so yeah, the company that we've started, Idaptic, has been just instrumental in doing this, and
with AR, the possibility. I mean, we're in the infancy of that right now.
Yeah, it really is quite amazing. It's reminiscent of the Olympics. I don't know, that we just saw in their opening ceremony was all augmented reality, and it was just such an amazing technology, and it's nice to be able to bring that to fruition for a medical need.
Yeah.
So,
Fantastic. Well, if you are interested in getting on this evaluation, the number is the main number for Harvard Eye, 949-951-2020. And if you forget the name of this, just say we saw Dr. Kim on this day. He was talking about this new device that can help folks see better. I think if you go there, they'll know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
All right, because they might forget the name, but it's Idaptic. So if you remember that, you're good to go. Always good.
Great.
I love the technology that Harvard Eye, but also Orange County, this whole area is advancing when it comes to our site. So it's just the start of it.
Just the start.
Yeah. All right.